Welcome to the Living Unoffended podcast with your host, Brant Hansen.
So do you think you can root for everybody? I know that sounds kind of weird. Maybe you're like, well, yeah, obviously. But I think for a lot of people, that's kind of odd. I see this a lot. It's like in sports. I see in comment sections about sports, like there's genuine visceral hate for people on the other team, or people that, and there'll be justifications for that. Like, well, he's actually a horrible person, or that guy, that player, I hate him. And I see this from even Christian people where, like, I'm not rooting for him. He's cocky and self-absorbed and like, okay, not rooting for him to win when he plays my team, but how about the idea that I'm actually rooting for him in life? Actively rooting for everybody. That may sound totally naive. I don't think it is, because what I'm doing is I'm willing God's best for everybody. I'm rooting for them. I don't want them to succeed in their evil if they've got evil stuff that they're doing or planning. Of course I don't. That's terrible for them. I might think that the justice system needs to justly deal with them and that there might be real consequences for that. Yeah, but I'm still rooting for them. I think we have to. I think this is what it means to love our enemies. Again, I'm still willing God's best for them. Rooting for everybody. And imagine going through life like that, where that's actually your default setting. This is possible. We are actually rooting for, I think Jesus was rooting for the hypocrites, the Pharisees, honestly, that he wanted them to turn around. And that he was very frank with them because he wanted them to get it. And a few of them did, I think. So, yeah, I think that can be your default view. Just plain rooting for everybody. It can be confusing for people. Make no mistake. It'll be confusing. Some people will be like, I don't understand, because what'll cross them up is they'll get the sense that you're rooting for them, but you're not affirming what they want you to affirm. They may be doing something self-destructive, maybe an addiction or something, and they want you to affirm it, and you're not going to. Well, then if you don't love this, then you don't love me. But they're wrong. That's not true. It's because I'm rooting for you that I actually won't root you on in that, because that's going to kill you. I don't want that to kill you. I want to see you thrive. I'd like you to know the peace of God. And it will throw people because they're trained to think that if you don't affirm that part of what they think or what they want, those desires, like, well, then you're against me. We're all propagandized that way, right? And I've experienced this. This happened a while back. I mean, it's been years, but I was playing a gig on campus, and it was outside, and it was with a band. We did some original stuff, but it was outside on a porch. It was outside a Christian house at the University of Illinois, and we were doing some original songs, and then we're doing some covers. And I remember doing all sorts of bands from the 80s and 90s, stuff I like for the 90s and stuff. And I got this call. I thought this was really weird. I got a call at home from a guy. He's like, hey, we've never met. I heard your concert the other night. I don't live at that house, but I share a parking lot with him in our apartment building. And you played some songs. It was really good, but one of his favorite bands he was talking about. And so I opened the windows and I enjoyed it, but I'm confused because you're a Christian. I'm just curious what you think, because I've got this problem with Christians. And would you be willing to talk about it? I'm like, first of all, how'd you get my number? I was like, wait a second. How'd you get my number? Just curious. And he said how, like, the house gave it to him. I'm like, okay, fine. So we did. We got together and we talked for, I don't know, it was 2-3 hours before he had to go. And we got along really well. And he let me have it, his take on things. And I hadn't processed the unoffendable thing. Like, I hadn't studied anger and forgiveness that much, but I was for him. And it was confusing to him because he could tell. And he even commented on that when he emailed me later. But what he would not do at the end, we talked through his stuff. I don't want to get all specific with it because we'll miss the point. But I told him, because he claimed to be a Christian as well. And I'm like, well, you know what? If we both seek God on this, even though we have different understandings right now, I think long term we will come to the same understanding. And I always reserve the right to be wrong. I mean, this is my conviction on this now, my firm understanding. However, God could show me something new, and I can't close the door on that. And I said, would you be willing, because I'm willing to ask God to change me if I'm wrong, to change my opinion in order to be in line with him. I say, would you be willing to pray the same thing? Because he was moving to Washington, D.C. like the next week or something. And I realized we weren't going to be hanging. And he said no. So I was surprised, and it was kind of a sad parting, but I liked him. I hope he's doing well. I remember his name. But his email to me, he's like, I could tell you actually were for me. I don't want to do that. And I understand that, like, on a human level, like, you're so scared to let something go that God would change your desire in this way or change your belief in this way. But you can imagine that with people. Like I've highlighted, I saw somebody on the news, a woman dying from a heroin addiction, and she knew it. She's like, I'm going to die. And I know people say, I need God. I know I need God too, but I'm not giving this up. So we humans are like that. When we get real honest, we'll say something like that. Like, I know, yes, God, yes, right, but I'm not giving this up. But I'm genuinely, I think, and maybe I'll have to keep working on this, but I actually do think I'm for people. I look at the athletes on the teams that are beating my teams or the refs. I genuinely think I'm for them. So I'm not trying to set myself up as like, I don't know, it's going to sound that way no matter what, but I feel like I've grown in that area. Maybe you've already experienced that a long time ago. Like, duh, Brant, I'm already here. Okay, great. But this is a relatively new thing in life after I've been thinking about this for a while and decided, yeah, that actually, willing God's best for them, that is rooting for them. Wanting God's blessings on my enemies, that is rooting for them. Again, I don't want them to succeed in their evil. United Faith Mortgage supports what we are doing here, and we are so thankful. They are a family business that's a direct lender. They can help with mortgages and refinances, including cash out refinances. And for every closed loan, United Faith Mortgage makes a donation to help heal kids in the name of Jesus through Cure International Children's Hospitals. United Faith Mortgage. If you want to find out more, including their story about being direct lenders, check out UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
United Mortgage Corp. NMLS number 1330, Equal Housing Lender.
But the thing about this is, if you are for people, that will come across subtly in your behavior and in your deportment. People pick up on cues. I usually have all the wrong body language to this day, and that's one reason I love radio and podcasts and don't enjoy being on video for very long. Because I'm like, man, I give off the wrong vibe. But even in my context, it's changed as I've grown to love people. By default, I love them. I'm rooting for these people. All of my neighbors, not some of them, all of them. So I have some neighbors that don't like my other neighbors, and my other neighbors don't like those neighbors. Like, okay, I need you to know, and I'll tell them. Like, I'm for them too. Like, it's just because of the Jesus thing in our lives. Like, we're for you. We're for you. We're for them. But they do pick up on it, and there's something attractive about that to people. Even if they want to walk away sad. I mean, people did that from Jesus too, right? They walked away sad. They knew there was something there, but didn't want to give up the thing. But at least they can tell you're for them. That's a big deal. One other thing I wanted to talk about, besides the rooting for everybody thing, and you can hit me back if you think that I'm missing something. My email is brant@branthansen.com. When I say I'm rooting for somebody, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I think you do, but I can always learn, like I said. But I also wanted to talk about what forgiveness is and isn't. I'm surprised, maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm surprised that the people I'll listen to are otherwise really thoughtful Christian believers, but they don't know what forgiveness is. They think forgiveness implies, like, if I forgive a church leader who's done something terrible, that means that they should stay on the stage and they get to still be superstar or whatever. No, I might forgive that, but release. It's releasing bitterness. It's releasing my anger. It's releasing my supposed right to anger. It's releasing my revenge. I don't want to see this person go on suffering. I don't want that. It doesn't mean reconciliation necessarily. That may not happen. Here's another thing where people are confused, like the emotion thing. Like I may feel anger. Okay, so that happens. We talk about that. There's a flash of anger. That's being human. It's a warning light on the dashboard. Hey, something's wrong. But the idea that I can keep it, or I should keep it, and I'm entitled to it, that's a mistake. That is not forgiveness. I forgive, even if they haven't asked for forgiveness, I forgive them out of thankfulness for what God's done for me because he forgave me. So I do it as an act between me and God. Maybe the other person gets to find out about it. Maybe we interact. Maybe I don't have a chance. So I'm trying to be like the Lord. The Lord forgave me. I want to be like him. It's not, so if the anger comes back as an emotion, okay, but it's an act of will. Like the forgiveness thing is an act of will. I'm committed to, I'm not entitled to this anger. There may be feelings that pop up, but forgiveness means I know I'm not entitled to this. All right. The other thing is it's not forgetting. People are confused about this too, because there are scriptures where God's talking about forgetting our sin. So people will think, well, then we have to forget. No. It still happened. There may be legal consequences. There's people that really got hurt. We don't need to act like that didn't happen. Or that we suddenly get amnesia. God doesn't have amnesia either. When he's talking about forgetting, I don't think he's talking about literally, I don't know that anymore. I don't know that happened. I don't think he's saying that. I think he knows what he wants to know. Okay, but he's all-knowing. So the thing, though, that gets me about this is people think that he literally has forgotten. I think it's forgetting in the sense that I'm not going to condemn you for it. I'm forgiving you. I'm giving up there's no accusation against you anymore. I'm not holding punishment over you for this anymore. And in that sense, yeah, absolutely. And so I want to emulate that too, that this is not, as far as I'm concerned, I am not going to punish you with my vengeance. So I hope that makes sense. But there seems to be some confusion about that. You can't say, oh, you have to forgive that guy. He's sorry. Well, I am. He doesn't need to be in leadership. He doesn't need to be on stage anymore. He can be like the rest of us. It's not a death sentence. It's okay. In fact, it's probably good for him or her. So anyway, I hope this makes sense to you. Thank you. And try this. Try rooting for everybody. Try that being a default thing in the morning. Yeah, we're all practicing this together, this thing of blessing our enemies and loving them. I think you're going to like it. I think this setting, if you haven't tried this yet, making this a default setting again, like this is where I come from. This is my lifestyle. This is how I live. I think you're going to find it actually kind of fun and very freeing. So hope that makes sense. Thanks for listening. Let's keep doing this. This is the better way to live. It is the Jesus way.
You've been listening to the Living Unoffended podcast with Brant Hansen. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And if you'd like more information on Brant Hansen, his book Unoffendable, and more, go to branthansen.com.